Mike, forget this year. Just is that one of the sharpest games that you've seen Yu Darvish in a Padres uniform?
I thought he was pretty good in the Game 5 last year in the Division Series final. But yeah, it was really good. I mean, I don't want to. Today was fantastic, and congratulations. What a milestone, right? I mean, 204 combined wins between the Japanese big leagues and Major League Baseball. That's impressive, you know, and been quite the journey for him, and you know, a lot of respect for what and admiration for you. And so we were celebrating him a little bit. And but to your initial question, he was terrific. Changed his speeds, fastball where he wanted it. Just, you know, an artist out there with a paintbrush. Helped a little bit with Crony making a, you know, another web gem, but he was fantastic to get through the 7.
It seems like the progression for him has just continued in the right direction in terms of just the sharpness getting better and better, and also, you know, extending the innings and the efficiency, the whole thing going in the right directions.
Yeah, efficiency is a key word. The, you know, ability to be consistent with his pitches. When he does that, he's going to do exactly what today. I mean, he was through 7, and you know, not a lot of stress and low pitch counts every inning. So it was tremendous and good timing. You know, really good timing. You know, we've been going at it pretty hard with the bullpen, and you know, Manny deserves a asterisk too with his homer yesterday that, you know, allows us to get Adam and Suarez in to close it out today. So good team baseball, good series.
2 outs continues to be something that your team does really good in terms of scoring, getting it done. Any attribute that you can attribute that to? Or?
Yeah, it's just it goes under the umbrella that is a pretty big umbrella, but it's also something that I really appreciate about this team is, you know, you don't take anything for granted. You know, you give nothing away and look to take everything. And you know, we've been able to do that consistently, whether it's they score, we score, hot, tough game, end of a road trip, 2 outs, nobody on. Nah, the inning's not over. You know, we still got work to do. And, you know, it was in play today. Glacia's effort down the line, you know, created an opportunity for us. Sheets took advantage of the 2-run homer. You know, nice stroke there. Toddy continues to take good at-bats. Of course, Manny's taking great at-bats. Louis looking like Louis for a long time now, and you know, Malty did his part at the end. Offensively, did a great job behind the plate as well. So, but yeah, ultimately, Scan, it's about, you know, never give anything away in competition.
You talked about how big it was just to get Yu Darvish back in the rotation, but for him to take the big step he did today and look like you, how big could that be?
Huge. It's very big. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, he's a pillar of this organization, has been for a while, and you know, like I said, just made history today. So he's clearly a presence, and he's a presence, and he's a, you know, a clear talent, and it was on display today. And a guy that can go out and grab innings for us as a starter is worth his weight in Padre gold.
Diaz with the heroics the last couple of days, but also like them being in that spot, Maldonado, Diaz, what they've done lately to get the lineup turned over. How big has that been?
It's been huge. You know, it's been nice. You know, to me, it's a little bit, you know, an added bonus because they've done such a nice job behind the plate. You know, Malty and Diaz have been tremendous, you know, shepherding and working with our pitchers. But their ability to contribute offensively clearly is an asset to the club.
I know you obviously treat them all the same, but that's the team leading its division over there. What does this week's series kind of say about your capabilities?
It speaks to our capability. It's a good team, you know, everybody knows that, you know, and you know, it's a good series. We played just really clean baseball, but it's really, you know, demonstrates what we're capable of, and that's pretty darn good special stuff.
What do you expect over the next 24 hours as this match is starting to happen? Like, what is your expectation for it?
I have faith in AJ, and AJ I trust. So, I mean, I don't, you know, I mean, the team we have I love, and, you know, AJ's going to, you know, do what he does to give us whatever he thinks is the best shot moving forward, and I've got complete confidence in him, however it turns out. But, you know, as far as expectations go, you know, I love the 26 we have right now.
Today's 19 5 runs lead, and still Suarez, Robert is pitching. So it's a very, of course tomorrow is off, but it's very important. Use first swing. It's for you and for team, right?
Yeah, it's for a team. Yeah, that's right. You know, I mean, you know, we had Adam in there, you know, and Suarez is honestly one of our most rested arms in the last month and a half or so. And you know, the off day tomorrow allows him an opportunity to go, you know, close that thing out for Darvish.
Your bullpen performance today looks like, to me, the best in the National League by far. And I'm wondering if you feel like you ever this year had working harder than you want, but you still always managed to keep things pretty good on the health front. And it looks like you're sitting pretty good there right now, despite some stretches where you didn't have to work pretty hard.
We work them appropriately. I mean, we're very mindful about the holistic approach we take and the communication we have with our relievers. And you have a good team. Your guys are going to pitch. It's just the fact of the matter. And so, good news is we have depth in our bullpen. We use it. We've also spread it around. And in this last stretch of 13 games, if you really look at the distribution of innings, which I'm sure you may look at, but you can feel pretty good about looking at Marnaccio getting his work when he was here, Hart getting his work when he was here. Peralta's taking the ball quite a bit. Morgan was, 6 out of 8 almost, and so Yuki got in there last night. I mean, all those guys have pitched almost equally, so I feel like we're passing the ball around pretty judiciously.
And
Thank
you
you.
mentioned AJ. What has enabled him to be so good in that area? I mean, it seems like the bullpen is just phenomenal.
AJ Preller.
Yes.
AJ's, I wouldn't trade him, pun intended, for any general manager in baseball. He's really brilliant. The thing about it is it's an organizational effort. The scouting and the professional scouting and the amateur scouting and the international scouting is, in my opinion, elite and best in business. And when you have that, it allows you to go and be creative. And AJ's a lot of things, and creative's one of them, and competitive.